Meet Zack. He didn't have a trust fund, a network of influential mentors, or off-the-charts test scores. He sat in the back of the classroom, staring at the board like it was written in a language he couldn't decode. His teachers didn't mark him as a future leader. His classmates barely noticed he was there. Even his own family kept their expectations firmly grounded. The traditional system had mapped out a very simple, low bar for his trajectory. The only goal placed in front of him was to simply pass his classes, walk across the stage, and graduate. That was the entirety of the plan. In this environment, Zack wasn't failing. He was simply invisible. The classroom was designed to reward those who could memorize the syllabus, which left him with no clear path to discover what he was actually capable of building. Like most teenagers, Zack spent his evenings scrolling, but one night the algorithm fed him a video titled, "How I Made My First $10,000 as a Teenager." He assumed it was fake. But as he watched, the mechanics started making sense. He realized that in a digital economy, age and formal credentials are no longer gatekeepers to starting a business. That realization triggered a hard internal pivot. He stopped viewing his youth as a waiting period. He looked at the creator of that video and asked himself a highly logical question. If he did it, why can't I? Zack stopped viewing his education as something that happened to him. He realized that if he wanted to see different numbers in his bank account, he would have to take the initiative to find that information himself. Zack initiated a grueling dual life schedule. He spent his nights researching business mechanics until 3 a.m., then woke up 3 hours later to sit in his crosses like nothing had changed. This diagram maps the exact points of study he was acquiring. He bypassed the standard syllabus to learn how e-commerce supply chains operate, how social media algorithms distribute content, and the precise psychology of digital sales. The early execution was brutal. For 3 months, he failed. He lost his entire savings, his classmates laughed at him, and his brother said, "Wake up." But losing that initial capital acted as a form of tuition. Every failed post and lost dollar provided raw feedback, giving Zack the exact real-world data points he needed to adjust his strategy. By month 4, he applied that data. He launched a simple, low-overhead online store, sourcing inexpensive accessories directly from overseas manufacturers to keep his margins largely intact. To drive traffic, he acted as his own one-man media agency. He produced, edited, and published his own organic marketing videos on TikTok and Instagram, posting daily to feed the algorithms. This graph tracks the transition to automated scale. He went to sleep with $50. Upon waking, his phone fired continuous notifications for new orders. He made more in one day than a month. By week's end, $3,000. By month's end, $10,000. Mastering these digital tools allowed Zack to reach a global market without spending a cent on advertising, effectively detaching his time from his income. Most teenagers who stumble into a windfall immediately scale up lifestyle spending. Zack followed a different playbook. He took the capital from his initial store and aggressively reinvested it into his own capability. He initiated a second phase of skill acquisition. He taught himself how to write code, using that new ability to build out digital infrastructure and software designed to help other students replicate his business models. To drive users to that new software, he launched a YouTube channel. This created a highly visible personal brand, allowing him to bypass traditional gatekeepers and speak directly to his target audience to build mass trust. Zack proved that while a single storefront provides a start, lasting wealth requires engineering an interconnected, compounding ecosystem of specialized skills, digital products, and owned media. By the time Zack turned 18, his reality looked entirely different. He was a self-made teenage millionaire operating as the CEO of his own company. On graduation day, while his classmates frantically optimized their applications for college admissions, Zack made a deliberate choice to step off the academic conveyor belt entirely. He didn't apply to a single university. Instead, he found himself in a highly ironic position. The kid who sat quietly in the back of the classroom was now actively hiring the exact people who had spent the last 4 years fighting their way into top-tier Ivy League universities. The modern marketplace has transitioned to a model that actively prioritizes a track record of proven execution and digital leverage over traditional academic history. Zack arrived at this position by discarding the expectation of a savior. He moved past the need for talent or luck by focusing on a single binary choice to educate himself. He succeeded because he accepted that no external institution or school syllabus was going to arrive to guarantee his future. So where exactly do you stand right now? When this video ends in a few seconds, are you going to keep scrolling and seamlessly revert back to your old life? In the digital economy, you are forced into a decision. You must choose today whether to actively begin the arduous journey of self-education or accept staying exactly the same.